Hello, my name is Ralf Jensen. I am from Germany and I'm one of quite a number of foreign professionals in Taiwan who are today in the same situation as the one that we're discussing here. I came to Taiwan in 1998 together with my wife and my two children. Back then, today we have 4 children, back then we had 2. For 6 years I worked as a programmer and software developer for various companies in Taipei. I later then switched to sales and sales management. I still do that occasionally today, but now I tend more towards writing and filmmaking. In 2006, both my wife and I applied for permanent residency, but only I received it. My wife and all my children remain temporary residents on a temporary ARC, fully dependent on me, and they don't have the right to work. At that particular moment in 2006, that was not such a big problem. Our children were young and my wife was fully occupied taking care of them. That changed after a few years, when the children became more independent. My wife would have liked to take up a temporary job, a part-time job, and as I changed careers, occasionally money was tight sometimes, and that would have helped a lot if she could have done that. But that is against Taiwan law. But today, actually, our children are the ones who are most impacted by that situation, that they remain temporary residents, fully dependent on me. Our daughter, for example, was 6 years old when she came to Taiwan. She attended local Taiwan schools, elementary, junior high, senior high, and then she studied arts at Taiwan Normal University in Taipei. During that time, she lived in Taipei while we live in Kaohsiung, and she had a student ARC which allows her to work part-time. But once she graduated, that work permit expired. As an artist, it's normal that you work in short-time jobs like TV host or acting performance or dance performance, and in between you have part-time jobs to make ends meet. But once she graduated, her work permit expired and that was no longer possible. So for a year or so she artificially extended her study by simply not graduating, but then she finally did graduate and her work permit expired, as I said. So she ultimately decided to move abroad, and today she works for an international well-known company, but in a different field. She lives abroad today. Our oldest son, Alexander, he was 3 years old when we came to Taiwan. After graduating from senior high school, he studied applied mathematics in Taoyuan for a year. At that time, the extension that Christina received after her study was not yet available, and Alex didn't just want to stay here to study, and he decided to move to Germany, where he has a better legal foundation. He stayed there for a year to study German, and then he took up a study of mathematics and information science in Munich. Actually, all our children speak fluently Chinese, better than any other language. They identify more with Taiwan than with Germany, but Germany officially is their home country. They love Taiwan and express gratitude. They're grateful that we came here to Taiwan when they were very young. All our children possess German and Polish nationality because the mother is Polish, but they often introduce themselves as being Taiwanese. So we actually have 4 children today. Our second son, Andres, he is born in Taiwan, in Taipei. He is now 18. He is very independent, entrepreneurial, very resourceful, has a lot of energy, a lot of friends, and he is not the type who would like to go to university. He would rather run his own business. That, however, is not possible as a foreigner with only a dependent ARC, without being allowed to work. It's very difficult for him to accept the situation. With the extension that is available today, he could stay here until he is 26, but it's forbidden for him to work. That is not an attractive prospect for an adult person. Then our youngest son, Samuel, as he is 16 years old today, he attends junior high school, and he will face the same situation once he graduates. Yeah, over the years, these situations have caused a lot of internal stress for the children as individuals and also for us as a family. It's not possible that the kids lead a normal life if they have to remain financially dependent on me without being allowed to work, not even part-time. Taiwanese in the same situation in other countries, like for example my home country Germany, are in a better situation. They receive the same visa status as their parents once they go there, and they receive permanent residency together with their parents. They also have the option to apply for a German passport and keep their Taiwanese nationality. Children born in America are American citizens automatically. These unresolved situations and the conflicts that result have existed for decades now. The government has considered the issue several times, and I'm sure the problems are well understood, but none of the new regulations actually have helped. The problems are unresolved, mainly because the lack of work permit. Fundamentally nothing has changed. Many other children of foreign professionals have already left the country, and so have many families because of this situation. I think people who consider moving to Taiwan should consider this situation, because the decision to stay here for longer tends to sneak up on you after some time, like it did to us. I think the best solution is to grant permanent residency to entire families rather than just individuals, and I hope the government will finally decide to do that. Thanks a lot for listening. Thank you.